there's a reason when I was casting with Toby, I changed it something like swallow it.
I thought I could avoid that on this panel. I thought I was safe. Thought this was the serious mode.
TI-8 vanilla, please.
I'm down, honestly. I'm okay with that at this point. They've earned it, you know. They've been through the night. They come here early, you know. You guys see the start. It doesn't look like there's too many people, but they filter on in. Once they get out of bed, they're ready to watch some Dota. Spearburger are going to be taken out here. We saw a lot of success just yesterday up against Clutch Gamers with that. Warranted ban here, and pretty good against the Enchantress. Someone to control that Bristleback.
Oh, that's a hero that's been picked a lot.
Yeah, it's your answer to Timbersaw. You know, you force those early kills. Static Storm is decent. My concern moving forward is whether they have enough damage to kill the Timbersaw. Enchantress give you a punch out of the support position, but until she gets some big items, she doesn't provide too much of anything when it comes to damage output. You're having a smirk, Cap. What are you laughing about?
Disruptor just not been having a good time this tournament.
Yeah, and if they get ahead too, you know, we were talking a little bit in the break in terms of like how the teams might want to draft or what the focus would be, and last game definitely felt a little all in there for Faceless, and once they got behind, it was very difficult. Now you can imagine too, NP, if you were to get behind, Coddle pushing on in, Disruptor, he can suffer a lot, but at the same time, if NP, now they get up ahead, you get that and one, you know, you're taking objectives, someone lingers a bit too long, they're glimpsed back, another kill.
They've got good heroes for it too, right? The Enchantress kind of shores up your laning phase quite a bit, which is where Disruptor can be a little bit weak. And then the Bristleback is sort of that mid-game hero that you don't want to fight into. So Bristleback is kind of running at you. The Disruptor is able to maximize his efforts. There goes that Witch Doctor, so we are going to have both the Keeper of Light and the Witch Doctor on the same team.
One of the rare support counters, I would say, to the Bristleback in terms of the Maldic, just to help you burst through that guy as much as possible. Make the most out of your damage, helping with the Death Ward too, and then again, yeah, up against the Enchantress. Disruptor, perhaps the Vision heroes, nothing really helping him here, but that does often come from your offlane role. MSS's Clock is gone, Spat Rider's now gone too. We do have that Night Stalker still in the pool, the Silence up against the Timbersaw, the Vision up against the Keeper of the Light. Possibility, but not something that we've seen from MSS quite yet.
Oh.
Good call, Trent.
We got him.
Good against the Coddle as well.
Yeah, so many counters.
Yeah. Against Timbersaw in particular, you want repeated sources of stuns or disable. So having the fear or crippling fear as well as the low cooldown of the void is going to be quite good to kind of lock him down repeatedly, make sure you punch him through.
Yeah, you just wait till he attempts his Timber Chain, right? And then you cast Void and a little mini stun stops him in his place. But this does put us very, very early to mid-game focused. And we were just discussing it before game number 3. We kind of thought that both teams would give themselves some sort of out, you know, to get a little bit of late game. Under the pressure like this, the last thing you want to see is like, oh God, we messed up in the early game. Our strategy's going to fall a little bit flat, and we just won't be able to close out the game. This kind of seems like the opposite for NP unless they pick up a hardcore late game carry.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Faceless can still draft out. I don't think they're fully committed. We already talked about Witch Doctor actually against Night Stalker being a pretty good hero for that early aggression, early dives under towers, especially with 1 or 2 heroes joining him. The cast can do a lot of work in those situations, so if they wanted to get a safe laner that was relatively survivable, we talked about the bans on the Weaver and the Juggernaut. Both those heroes are still in. There's also the option of just trying to get a matchup with the Timbersaw versus the Night Stalker, which I'm sure he would not enjoy. But maybe not the most survivable, but with the Timbersaw not needing too much help, there's going to be plenty of supports for the Terrorblade here, and they also have some options in terms of the laning, I'm sure, with Black being very good on the hero as well.
Well, I think we are going to see a Fata Queen of Pain if Faceless does not take it out. You have some sizable burst damage, which I believe MP is currently quite lacking, especially against Timber and now Terrorblade. There's a lot of targets that you need to just get a quick burst kill. And Queen of Pain is one of those heroes that scale extremely well into the mid and late game, depending on her kind of item pickup. So we'll see if Faceless do care about the Quap, or do they have a more important hero they want to take out?
Yeah, I agree. It's very tough here. The Ember as well, the Fata hero, the Puck is also still in, but it feels like Ember, he's very survivable, of course, once you get that mid-game. He moves around a lot, but he doesn't have that heavy burst, and he would have a pretty hard time. The Puck, maybe a little bit of an in-between option between the Ember and the Queen of Pain. Someone who offers a significant amount of bursts, but also an element of control, whereas Queen is like full damage.
MP takes out the Sven. Were they going to Timber Sven and Terrorblade? That seems exceedingly greedy.
Probably like a black mid Terrorblade, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, Team Faceless, they actually have a really large amount of high ground defense between the Keeper of the Light, the Timbersaw, the Witch Doctor. I heard that the Queen of Pain, and I thought, you know, that sounds really good, Lumi, and then it's kind of like,
How do you
what
break high ground?
Yeah, how do you break high ground against this team?
That's a concern as well.
Do they? I almost feel like they have to get a later game here, like a Storm Spirit type hero, just because I wouldn't trust myself to be able to crack open a Keeper of the Light Timbersaw duo.
Okay, they're gonna take out the Tinker instead.
Similar idea.
The Axe Laser being able to pierce through all of the illusions. Another hero good against illusion will be OD, but I guess if you're Team MP, you wait out to see what the matchup is, and then you adjust from there.
Yeah, actually, we've talked a lot about Tinker too in terms of this hero, and maybe a little surprised we haven't seen much of it at this tournament at all. But that is a perfect ban. The Laser Refraction up against the Terrorblade Illusions, the teleporting onto the Enchantress Creeps. That could have been a very excellent pick here for NP. What shall it be, Faceless? They have to make the choice. You know, that's the one thing. We talk about the idea of maybe Black taking this Terrorblade into the mid lane. Whenever you have those options in the mid, it's so much better when your last pick, of course, because you don't want to, these odder heroes that go mid, like
Right.
TB, that was only ever picked really against Alchemist or something for a lot of the, especially by NP, most notably very high armor. He was great against it. And, well, they're going to go for it. It's a very fast one. Who needs high ground?
Take a hero, lot of armor there, but he doesn't necessarily know his mid matchup yet.
It's very scary. OD still in, but
OD looks good here.
Yeah, OD looks good.
Emperor
Emperor
instead.
Spirit instead, big magic damage.
again, though, they're kind of lacking the burst.
How do they push? Like, I mean, high ground wise, you know, like early game, we're gonna see the Bugatti strat coming out from A. We're gonna see double siege unit running around taking towers, but how do you get the tier 3s? That will be
That's
the
a
question.
good point, though. Those catapults. We have to look for that again here because that was a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
I guess it's going to be on Envy. He just needs to get humongous on this bristleback.
All right, gentlemen,
Oh, we have to do that thing, don't we?
you have to do that
That
thing.
where we pick the
that-
teams.
yeah, that one thing.
Yeah. Ugh.
Where your pride is on the line.
Let me go. I'm gonna go with MP. They're my boys. No reason for this time.
No analysis, just heart.
I feel like the draft is actually quite even. They're both doing very different things. It feels like Faceless is going for much more late game, whereas MP is going much more tempo early game based. So it's hard to say, like, because if MP just wins the early game, they win. If they don't win the early game, then Faceless is definitely advantage. So definitely go either way. So my heart goes to MP.
I'm going to take NP, the Fada Ember, the Night Stalker. Thought it was an excellent pick. Taking them all away.
All right, well, I'm going to have to go against you two. I believe in Faceless. Philippines, make some hype for me. It's Game 3, Faceless, NP, and the dynamic duo of Eldian Gods.
An exciting one, Gods. Winner of this faces EG tomorrow and has a shot then at Newbie in the grand finals. Both of these teams trying to find their path to TI, and the winner of this event almost certainly gets that invite, especially these two teams coming in as pretty competitive, if not tier 1, then like tier 1.5 teams with a chip on their shoulder. So who do you have?
It's tough. Jeez, LD, I didn't think you'd put me on the spot like that.
I gave you like
you
a
know,
solid 15 seconds.
I didn't know where I was going. It's late. My brain's not quite there. But it's SEA, Faceless. I'm going to go with Cap and say I think they've got what it takes. It's going to be close. I like the drafts a lot better. I don't feel like there's going to be a snowball out of the laning stage as much as we saw last game. Perhaps NP slightly better lanes, but that's going to come down to AUI's rotations.
Yeah, AUI's rotations early, the Night Stalker movements a bit later on, and then the Emperor ganks as well. So they certainly have like a few heroes that can go around and set the tempo, but I go back to what Lumi was harping on the panel. This lineup is not very good at breaking the base, so even if they get ahead, I mean, I feel like they have to be 15, 20K gold ahead to feel confident, and
yeah.
They need to take that first lane of racks, ideally 30, 35 minutes in. You don't want this game going 50 plus minutes, 40 plus minutes, and normally that's not that unreasonable, but Faceless have so much spam, right? They have the Breathe Fire, the Illuminate, the Timbersaw alone can just wreck creep waves. Meanwhile, Terrorblade's great at split pushing, so unless NP completely run away at the laning stage, I feel like they have less ways to win the game.
Yeah. Feels like Ice is going to be the key player for Faceless. I mean, as far as defending high ground, as far as doing well, getting farmed. I think if he has a rough game, Faceless are going to struggle here. DK's not a mid that you're expecting to win his matchup. He's not going to be able to do a whole lot. TB's also very slow-paced, farm-oriented, so Ice needs to keep heroes busy and occupied in this top lane.
Let's see if he can get the job done. Black taking up a different hero. He will be on the Dragon Knight mid. Certainly not known as a lane dominator, though with the new Breathe Fire. Well, not new at this point, but the improved Breathe Fire, he's a bit more effective in the 1v1. So really all about the Enchantress movements, like you mentioned. Where will AUI go?
Career sniping. That's where he'll go.
What kills will he find? He's already got the ward down mid.
Not getting a salve, says the Dragon Knight. Black is like, this matchup's easy, I don't need a salve, and...
I mean, it's an Ember.
Yeah,
He's not afraid.
you don't need a salve. He's right on that.
He's got the passive regen, if required.
But
Hasn't skilled anything just yet.
yeah, if Fata starts harassing him a lot earlier, trading blows, then maybe we see the salve come out. Yeah, but for now it's not the case. So that Observer Ward is going to perhaps scout the courier with the bottle. The bottle snipe is the bigger one than the salve, actually. So we'll see if AUI is able to come back at the right time to pick that one off. DK without a bottle is going to struggle to farm in that lane.
Yeah, otherwise, looks like the mid lane should be relatively even, at least to start things off. Meanwhile, bottom, the movement comes as Nuts takes a bit of damage. Already that Metamorph being deployed. XY trying to get some damage in here. Only 3 CS so far. Slipping a little. Up against just the Night Stalker, unless the Enchantress is in the area, it should be able to farm relatively freely.
She
So
is. Double shockwaves.
heavy harass from AUI.
That's just round one.
And that one auto attack ain't gonna really cut it.
XY
Not taking the Void. He might be the first blood here at this rate. AUI letting the Hadoukens fly. They're so close to getting this kill. MSS, can he stay in range? The armor means the auto attacks might not be enough. He needs this Void to go. He doesn't
nice
have the vision.
juking.
Good fogging, but MSS is tanky. He can afford to take this kind of punishment. Nuts, however, cannot. And another round of Hadoukens. AUI scores not one, but two. If there were a third hero, he'd probably grab the triple.
Oh boy. The salve cancel. XY needed to just run fog before he popped that salve. I think he was going to live a little bit longer. He wasn't in like imminent danger where he needed to get that tiny bit of regen. He had to get more out of his salve and goes down there.
Not respecting the Satyrs.
And that's some very fortunate creep selection from AUI.
At the same
Already
time,
favored him.
at the same time, you saw the Satyrs, and he
Yes.
posted up in the lane in a position where AI could dive. So again, not enough respect given by XY.
Yeah.
Very avoidable death.
We'll see where things go from here. It's not easy to respond to this. They've got Jabs just helping out the top lane, trying to make sure Ice has a good start. I talked about him being the key player. I don't mind this from Faceless, giving the Terrorblade a slightly tougher lane if it means Ice can excel.
So mid lane's a wash, both heroes freely farming. Bottom lane, a massive victory already for NP. And with that top lane, at least for now, it seems fairly even with the Bristleback and the Timber trading farm. No clear win anywhere for Faceless. So, I mean, it's not the best start in the laning stage, but certainly looking at their lineup, a lineup that can play a bit from behind. They've got good deep push, good farm, some tanky cores that can take risks on the map. Keeper Light who can keep the lane shoved out while they buy time. I think, if there's a lineup that wants to be in this position, Faceless's lineup certainly on the upper half of lineups that can handle it.
Yeah, it's not a complete disaster yet for them, but that's going to come down to perhaps this next Enchantress move. More shockwaves, and this time Chain Lightning's coming out.
Oh, God.
This is a creep that's actually perhaps...
Just go home nuts.
Yeah, this Chain Lightning creep is even better than the Satyr in some ways in the early game.
Twilight Die also making his mark felt as he's going to force Jabs all the way off the top lane. Has to TP home. Nicely done by him. Meanwhile, the stun wars raging on. Black really wanting a piece of this 4-minute rune, but no rune to be seen. That's actually a regen that spawned bottom. So a lot to do about nothing there. While meanwhile bottom, Nuts in danger. He's going to throw up the cast, but it's already nighttime. So MSS quickly claws through him, gets the kill, and now Fata charging towards Black. Might be able to bring him down. Indeed he will. AUI with the swipe, brings in the Chain Lightning, and Black bites the dust. Man. AUI, every single game that NP wins this tournament has been with him dominating the laning stage, whether it's the tree, the Enchantress. I cannot think of a game where AUI didn't have a dominant laning stage that NP won, and he just continues to do it now.
There's a reason why teams have been banning out his Enchantress. Faceless Managed to defeat it once, and they felt confident going up against it again here, but he has been incredibly effective in the first 5 minutes of this game, giving NP a 2,000 gold lead almost just 5 minutes in. That is concerning.
So where does Faceless turn it around? Is there, I mean, do you see a move for them? I don't really see a great tempo control in this lineup. That is one of their weaknesses.
Yeah, all 3 cores just want to kind of stick in their lanes and farm. The supports don't rotate. Witch Doctor coddled. No Suri, no Maledict point. It was a level 2 Voodoo Restoration. Timber's not going to TP anywhere.
You need like a Dragonite Blink or Shadow Blade, but that is going to take a while. So MP have a lot of time to make moves or just look to outfarm the opposition.
What we perhaps see is tower pressure from Faceless. What they can do is send the DK and Terrorblade to the same lane just to start pressuring towers. Once DK has ultimate, a few more levels, maybe his treads, Terrorblade. Once he gets like a Ring of Aquila, like he's being ganked again.
Oh, this is not the kind of start you want for your old TB, as he is going to get totally beaten down bottom. He will drop NP, grabbing another kill. And now a tower to boot, so yeah, where Faceless want to be pushing and dodging fights, NP are already doing both. They're taking the fights, and they're pushing very successfully.
AUI just doing so much damage with his neutrals, the shockwave, the chain lightning, and
Black has a haste, and he is streaming towards top. He might just catch Envy. This is not a hero he can kill on his own, and the team is a bit far away to pursue, so haste for him that doesn't get a whole lot accomplished. Maybe they transition into a push. They're evacuating the bottom lane. TB's going top. TB grouping up with the Dragonite at 6 minutes for a hard push. They're already down 3,000 gold. And I don't know if you can even argue with this for Faceless. It's not like it's safe for him to farm bottom.
kind of have to, but MP also don't really need to defend this one necessarily. It feels like if they take the mid-tier one and just take over this Radiant jungle, they're okay giving up this top tower. It's not the biggest objective, and if anything, you just say, well, he just used Metamorphosis. Let's go take a fight after it's down. Let's go punish the fact it's on cooldown. And you also look at this TB, he's level 4. Going top to 3-4-man push at tier 1 is not getting him any levels. This is a hero that's going to be incredibly far behind in experience and gold.
Remnant forward as Fada lunges onto Black. Get him with the Thunder Strike, but Nuts lurks in the trees, keeping him safe. The other thing that it is worth pointing out for Faceless, they have pretty good spam even now, so that's where you can look for those trades. But bottom lane, Ice Ice Ice, beginning to be hounded. Fortunately for him, no impetus just yet for AUI.
This is getting quickly
Out of control.
hand.
Yeah.
Yep, AUI is like, all right, I'm done with my nuking creeps. Time to get some siege creeps. Let's push some towers with this. He'll fall back and wait for the creep wave to group up with him. And yeah, this bottom tier 2 tower is donezo, it feels like. TB's not defending it, that's for sure. Your Witch Doctor's level 3. The experience right now is the biggest issue for this team. Only Timbersaw and DK are really where they're meant to be. The Coddle wasn't able to jungle and get any farm or levels. Everyone is behind.
Dire's middle tower is
It's
under
daytime
attack.
now, so a little breathing room for Faceless. They'll certainly take what they can get. They've only lost the 1 tower as of yet. Try to stabilize, make the most of this precious sunlight. Still no real items in sight.
Yeah.
Looking for Black perhaps to grab that tempo controlling item. Obviously, Terrorblade is not farming at this point. Timbersaw is going to need a lot of meat time. Even with the 45 CS, still a ways to go until he can really take over. And it's a tough Timbersaw game, Gods, no matter how farmed he gets. He has to worry about silences.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for him just go running in. And the thing for the DK is there's not like any obvious amazing item for him. You get a Blink Dagger, you have no real good damage follow-up other than the Timbersaw, and perhaps not able to maybe combo with your stun. Your stun's also just level 1.
Fada. He sees a delicious Witch Doctor. Nuts will be chopped up.
Yep. Good use of the Invis Rune. Has a ward on himself as well. We'll put it up there. That gets scouted at least. God, when you've got a Radiant, you've got defensive Radiant ward there at 9 minutes in, you know you're getting demolished.
A little trouble here for Mr. Jabs, who did not realize that Fada had stuck around. Maybe losing sight of what's going on around the map. He will also fall. There's just nowhere to farm. There's nowhere to be safe. And just when you think the nighttime's over, MSS turns on the darkness, and things get very dark for Faceless again.
Plan here for Faceless has got to involve trying to either take a fight or take some towers at some point. Black is just continuing to chip at this mid lane, but this could be a bad idea for him.
He's going to get slowed down by Fada. Now MSS emerges. He's got a lot of armor. He doesn't have a lot of ability to deal with this magic damage coming out, but does get a good stun. This could potentially be the turnaround. The Maledict trap is sprung, and Fada charging in is going to end up dropping. Doesn't find the black kill. MSS will salvage that. Now on the way out, though, slowed down by the Terrorblade. Faceless seeing opportunity here. Would love this second kill. Not going to get it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Their most farmed hero bites the dust. Is Ice jumping in. Looks for Pylai Die. Doesn't quite have the firepower unless he hits another chain, but the angle isn't there. So they'll settle for zoning him away while they look for the tower push. But here, look at this, guys. The TPs are coming in. They're going to tap that shrine, bring the Bristle back in, and it'll be Envy's first dance. Almost forgot he was in this game. He enters the field of battle now. Revenant forward, and Fada will connect, bringing down Nuts, almost instantly deleted, and XY could well be next. Fada with that heavy magic damage can punish him. No Sunder available as of yet, so he will drop. XY down 2.
Radiant's
They got
top
Ice
Ice to
yeah.
fall as well, so NP just firing on all cylinders, up 12-1. And Knight even become 13-1 because Jabs is in a very precarious position right on top of a Dire Sentry. Fortunately, NP seem more interested in the tower for now, but that next nighttime is coming, so things are only going to get more difficult for Faceless from here.
Proving to be an incredibly good Ember game with how much he's been able to punish these under-leveled supports. They just constantly getting taken down. Fata has been in kill after kill for his team, and well, it's nighttime for a good 5 minutes or so now. As AUI has got the double siege creep. He wants to perhaps get aggressive. Bugatti strat is being called in. We'll see what he can do as far as pushing lanes out with these.
So there will, be, at least for the moment, be a lull. NP, do they just kind of settle down here, go back to getting those core items, you think?
I think they want to keep fighting. If anything, they're so much stronger. They got, I mean, the Vanguard almost there on Envy. The Ember is like ready to go. He's got 2k gold. He has a Blade Mail queued up, make it a bit of travel. He changes his mind. He doesn't need items. When you're this far ahead in terms of just experience, when you're playing a hero like Ember against a very disable lacking lineup, you can play aggressive even without. And yeah, they're just going to keep this bottom lane shoved. MSS, it's nighttime. He wants to press the advantage. You don't want to sit around and farm when you've got a nighttime to use.
XY is struggling to approach creep waves at only 3.2k net worth. Well down in the charts. He is the 4th least farmed hero. But fortunately for him, I guess the creeps are at the base, so he might actually get some CS now. Yep. See a smoke out from NP. Surging over towards the western front. They might get Ice here. That would be a very big kill, and indeed, he is caught. Static Storm committed. NP wastes no time in descending, and a Void will ensure it. MSS snags another. Big takedown for NP.
Finding some pickups. They're stacking Ancients as they did that. NP's got a nice little triple stack there waiting for him. And life getting more and more difficult for Faceless.
This team is really feeling like they have an identity now, as XY is going to also bite the dust. Fada comes back in just when you think it's safe to farm. You're wrong, Bubba. Nuts, meanwhile, getting glimpsed back. There's a jump forward by Black on the Dragon Knight. Does find the stun, but where's the follow-up? Do they have any sort of lockdown? He will get the kill on Pylai Die. However, Nuts is the price. Ice joining the fray. This could be the opening at long last. Perhaps Faceless can stack together kills. They make it 3-15. We'll need more of that. And again, the Terrorblade died another time. Like, even where that's technically maybe a numerical win, that an unfarmed TV is beyond useless. He's just a walking sack of gold.
When Timber's getting 600 gold for that kill, you know you're far behind. The big streak ended on the Night Stalker, as he is going to be rushing a Yule Scepter just to deal with these silences on both the Night Stalker and the Disruptor. Being able to use yourself to get out, or even just to bide your time for the Static Storm to end.
Looks like NP might be congregating here mid, drawing some lines towards the Radiant jungle. Going for a big smoke play momentarily. Just in case it wasn't clear, they're all drawing lines now, as Jabs will just get soloed by AUI. They make their move. NP on on the hunt. They get the glimpse back. Initiation onto XY, straight into the static storm and straight into almost certain doom. Will he make it out? It's not going to happen. Down he goes again. Another death for the Terrorblade, who can ill afford any more, let alone these repeated demises that he encounters. Black now dukes it out. Surrounded and being beaten down by 4. He's got the stick. He won't even get it off. NP swarm in and walk away with a couple of additional kills.
Yep. Not much stopping them from pressing forward here.
Radiant's
As
top tower
What a
is
romp
under
it's
attack.
been.
yeah, I mean, this is at this point more one-sided than what Game 2 was. We're just 15 minutes in, but
Radiant's
MP
top
have
tower has fallen.
dominated. See where they head next.
Everything's going their way. Ice can't even TP out without problems, and he's about to encounter another one. MSS hunts forward. Does have the Void Silence combination, and he's going to fly his way right over the ravine. Very well played. Now locking down that Timber Saw and ensuring a likely eventual kill, though. He is pretty tanky at this point. Not the easiest, but the Void damage gets it done. Another takedown. The one hero that can dish out the damage as this game goes later is getting farmed is not, so... With Terrorblade struggling, with the Timber Saw dying, with the Dragon Knight, yeah, having 6k net worth, but still not feeling very impactful. This continues to look dark, bleak, miserable everywhere for Faceless.
Yeah, DK's doing fine this game, but he's being ignored, and a DK on his own is not scary. Like, even when he's going to get BKB, he doesn't really do. This is not a carry that dishes out a ton of damage. His spells don't, his right clicks don't. It's just kind of that frontliner that normally is looking to enable his teammates, enable his cores, but those cores don't have farm, don't have items. TB is dirt poor. Timbersaw perhaps slightly more promising with him, but still definitely concerns about what he can do against the silence and the nukes that are coming out.
You do have to feel the pressure for Faceless, as this is likely their only opportunity to qualify directly or potentially get that invite for TI. But a nice snipe here starts things off right. Finally, Faceless get a clean initiation, but Fada answers back, immediately bringing down Ice Timber Saw into the picture, and MSS hunting. Jabs will push him back with the blinding light. They do have the armlet going on Black, but he can't deal with the aggression that AUI brings to the table. The snot stacks up, that nasty viscous nasal goo, and down he goes in a flurry of imps, trying to run from MSS. Nuts, praise for the best. But MSS has wings, and he's going to track him down through the trees. 3 more fall, 2 cores down again. Terrorblade just like, well, at least I can hit creeps for a little bit longer, but MP wastes no time in churning their way towards this tower mid.
The initial kill on the Ember, at least not bad for them, but they give up so much in return.
Another opening. MSS, he's doing it again. Twilight dies there. Static Storm once more. Terrorblade, less than useless. Falling. I mean, how many times has he died at this point? 6 or something. Yeah, 6 deaths.
Not what you want to see in a Game 3 decider if you're a Faceless fan right now, and they've got a lot of work to do as far as playing for the late game, buying more time to get Terrorblade farm, to get Timbersaw up some additional items. He's got the Yule Scepter now. That's going to help him out a little bit, but ultimately still has to play very cautiously.
Guys, you're a creative player. Tell me about your support Terrorblade strats. Let's figure out how XY is going to contribute.
You know, you
this
get
game.
low HP, you Shadowblade in, you sunder an opponent, then you dig on them. But that's not really support, though. You got to farm those items.
Maybe gonna drop low here. Jabs could potentially help kill him off. Gets the blinding light. The Timber Chain through. Big commitment from Ice. He might get turned on though. Could be in danger against a disruptor. You've got to be careful about these dives. And well, they've already lost Jabs. Ice in trouble. They're really forcing the issue. Faceless likely to lose another. That's 2 more down. Rack them up and knock them down. Faceless just keep on crumbling. NP more and more. It feels like their game to throw, their game to lose, and I don't know if they're going to, gods. They seem rather disciplined and very determined.
Yeah, NP's play this tournament has been very polished. Like you say, discipline has been the name of the game. When they've gotten these leads, they've very rarely done anything overly aggressive, thrown away. They had that one big turnaround against Secret, but that didn't really come from over-aggression. That came from just giving Secret too much space and too much time to catch up. This game, we'll see them go for Roche and limit what Faces can do. So hard to move out on the map against this vision. The Night Stalker is going to provide constant control as well. And They're already hunting, looking for kills at the top lane, but the Radiant Observer will it help? It won't.
Oh, mama, they might have gotten another.
Won't go for the kill.
There's still tier 2s to be claimed here. And again, not the best sieging lineup. Enchantress great early, doesn't quite deal with these tier 3s as effectively with the so-called Bugatti strat, but nonetheless, they have the bristle.
Your opponents have a sieging hero terribly. You just take his illusions.
Ah, there you go. So you're telling me that XY is not only going to feed kills to NP, but is soon going to feed them the implement of his own destruction.
Don't cast Conjure Image. There's definitely games where you're behind his PB, but reflection can be really good at high ground defense, but this is not a game where there's many good reflection targets even. None of these heroes are particularly right-click heavy. And yeah, options are going to remain fairly limited. The Radiant's going to be Fatta's next purchase. It looks like he's got that one queued up for his Ember. Not going to have any good solutions. His magic damage output onto this Terrorblade is going to be brutal.
With an Emperor this far ahead, I don't even know if you can count on those illusions even much later in the game. It's going to be a long time before he's relevant. P looking to push the tempo now as they throw the bristle in front. They'll get to work on this tier 2, drop it quickly. Catapults, laying into it, and he swarms back in. And we'll take the tower too, so that is all but the one top outer tower gone now, with the Hurricane Pike picked up too for the Enchantress, making life difficult not only for the Timbersaw, but also the DK. These are both heroes that rely on their plus armor, the pure damage imps. Ignore that, and now you're guaranteed to see those coming in a flurry with this big item. Third in net worth, AUI 2000 just continues to impress, even after the lanes have ended.
Find out now just how NP go high ground, but ultimately they're in a scenario where it doesn't matter if they can't go high ground. You get this far ahead, you know that your opponents are stuck in their base, you're going to get further ahead. This 16k gold lead, 5 minutes from now, even if you don't break high ground with Aegis, might be like a 22k gold lead. It's just going to get worse and worse, uglier and uglier for Faceless unless they find a way to get something done. And I think that's something NP is just not going to present too many opportunities. So you've got to make your own opportunities.
That's not the opportunity that they're looking for. Fata is just going to delete nuts. Cracks them right open.
Anytime you move out, you expose yourself to the vision of NP, and those kind of kills will present themselves. Disruptor coming in from behind in this bottom lane will not find anyone, and Faceless just playing team away.
You know, I think it's still safe at the fountain. I haven't seen any NP heroes there yet.
Not yet.
That might be a
time.
good place for Jabs and Nuts to hang out.
No. Yeah, it's...
I mean, but seriously, it's like you leave the base, you're dead.
Yeah.
And even the cores are not safe for long. Ice will try, but he gets silenced and reeled right back into the Disruptors. Waiting clutches, AUI 2000 there with the long-range imp damage, flanking him down, finishing him off. MSS getting the last hit again. Nowhere safe.
Surprised he was able to walk out of that kinetic field. That was a bit odd, but guess it hasn't latched on yet. But Envy on the high ground as a result. No Timbersaw to worry about. Aegis in hand. He'll just slowly start chipping away at this. Looks like he's even going to buy a BKB from the
Envy, that's not your base.
Yeah, you know,
it might as well be, though, for all Faceless can do about it.
There we go. BKB secure. Well, you said the fountain was safe. Envy is looking to question that, LD.
It's safe. He's only here to shop, guys.
When you can just walk there, buy an item.
That's like, all right, guys, call it GG. You have no hope, but Faceless, their best shot to get that TIN, but are not going to give it up without fighting to the bitter end. NP look to make that bitter end happen as quickly as possible. They will stun Envy here. Still, he's got a little bit of time left on the Aegis. Probably wants it to crack soon. The Quill stacking up, and about 40 seconds to go. Aegis down, Rax exposed. The lineup not known for their sieging potential at the high ground is so damn far ahead, they can do it anyway. Now working on the melee. Ice, lumbering in, but quickly losing about a third of his health, and he's probably their tankiest hero after Black. Well, they get to work on Envy. They do some decent damage. Bafata quick to charge forward, and support Terrorblade now goes down once more. The chase is in. That's a BKB up on MSS, by the way, at only 24 minutes on the off-lane Night Stalker, as he will find another kill, racking him up. NP diving the fountain. That is probably the one way they can lose this game, is repeatedly diving the fountain.
Repeatedly being the keyword.
And they come close, but They're more NP than Cloud9 today. They will back down.
Back down. These early BKBs just mean the Timbersaw, the one hero that deals damage on the Faceless side, can't actually dish out any damage in these fights at all. Ember doesn't need one since he's so elusive. He can always get away from the Timbersaw, and end result is things are looking rough. NP's Aegis no longer there, means they'll fall back, play the map control game a bit longer, take the shrines, play around their wards, play around the next nighttime. Potentially, if they really want, wait for another Aegis, but I don't think they even want to do that. They'll at least try and force Faceless back in their base. They don't want Faceless moving out of the map and picking up any farm. And
bear in mind, the winner of this has to play the first match tomorrow against EG, and should they win that, then a BO5, I believe, against Newbie. So it's a long day, and you want to get your sleep. Be no reason to drag this out more than necessary. So, a reset. They got that Radiance on Fada. And closes in now on his next item. Can start to build the Linkosphere if he so desires. Really, I mean, I don't know if any of these cores from NP will be killable, but certainly with Lincolns, he gets tougher to take down.
Perhaps the Disruptor.
Oh yeah, that core Disruptor. Oh, we got him covered.
I mean, he looks like a core compared to some of the Faceless heroes.
Well, BKB from Black will TP out, and a fantastic debut for the Golden Boy.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Space created for XY. Still clawing his way back in farm.
Invisibility. I'll dig
Yeah,
that.
I mean, for Faceless, it is very much a waiting game. You do not win this game through making plays yourself anymore. You win this game by NP overextending, by NP fumbling their positioning when they're going for a high ground push. And
This is where you have Ice, Ice, Ice. You got to drop those items at the right time.
bring him in, bait him in, find some way to
they
throw him
have
off.
the trump card, you know?
Yep.
And NP has fallen for it before. He
Okay.
has gotten punished by that man himself, Mr. Darryl, but perhaps he's also learned from those previous mistakes.
They left a Tango there. The bait's being set at top lane.
Ah, yes. Delicious tangos. Even Night Stalker's got a Maelstrom, so even if the Terrorblade somehow gets farmed, there's a lot of tools to deal with them now.
Yeah, everyone. He's like, I'll become a carry myself too. Gets the attack speed, talent, and the strength. He's going like core-ish Night Stalker build. Recognizing that, similar to the Legion Commander game, they lack that building hit, so he'll just go for some extra building hit himself.
So he's getting forced back. Black being pursued heavily by MSS. Slows him down. Does manage to TP away, and
Didn't have to BKB that one.
yeah, TPs appear to be Faceless's best friend right now.
Yes. Big enemy come at you. Let's TP on out. Well, Faceless, go for any kind of a jump.
Well, that Night Stalker's not very afraid.
It's very cute little way of getting high ground vision. You just pop that flying vision for a second, throw a nuke, and Faceless, well, have no choice but to scurry even further back into their own base.
Starting to put them more and more into a chokehold here as they converge, but still no sign that they want to commit to a next push. They are pretty close to some additional items here. The Enchantress Aghanim Scepter, only about one component away from purchasing it. The Lincoln's just now snagged up by the Ember. We already saw MSS, BKB, Mjolnir about to be complete.
The BKB AC is what I thought they would need to break high ground. They just got so far ahead that it didn't matter that Envy didn't have the AC yet. But the AC perhaps will be what they have for the next high ground push with the Aegis as well.
Jabs loses almost over half his health just from one chains. Yeah, still they're waiting, and I mean, like you said, I think just maybe that next item or two, or just an opening. Ice 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 could be the opening. No follow-up for this. MSS will pursue him back. Get back to your home. But won't find the kill.
Happy just to have Night Stalker running them a bit. Everyone else is farming. Their next core item to into the Ag's almost there for the Enchantress, so another 400 gold, and it's good to go. More than anything, though, it is, of course, the Roshan that is the big one for NP to have before they make a bold play. They are trying to punish that like aggression at the top. MSS is playing somewhat alone, but problem is no one's bottom. When there's this super creeps in your high ground in the bottom lane, no one's defending it. That's like a warning sign. Like, why is no one there defending? someone take this farm. Yeah, super creeps don't give as much gold as regular ones, but it's still farm, and there is not much farm on the map for Faceless right
And
now.
still, there's nobody defending, and they've already walked all the way to the Roche pit, but they're not going to find NP there. NP are playing this very safe, slow rolling it entirely, getting free structural damage while farming and while wasting precious Faceless time and resources in the form of that smoke. Just no mistakes. It's been pretty much flawless Dota from NP.
Yeah, they are very polished this game. And Faceless will just have to buy their time now for another smoke or another high ground defense. That was their one move to try and go for that Roche. They could go for another smoke, but this bottom lane is going to continue to plague them. And they do. They say, we've got to stop this Roche from happening. We can't afford to give it up again.
NP aren't even doing it. For now, they're just kind of hanging out, pushing in the bottom lane with the Ember Spirit, showing themselves mid. Faceless will wrap around, but the catapult is just whacking away at Black. He's actually going to get onto Envy, but Envy has the BKB. He activates it now. Black starting to take the imp damage. He could BKB, but this Enchantress is going to end him. AUI just basically soloing out the enemy Dragon Knight. Does manage to get off the stun just barely at that. They're going to push AUI back, try to deal with him, but oh, by the way, AUI is technically a support, though he's doing the damage of a core this game. You've got to worry about the Ember Spirit. You've got to worry about MSS on the Night Stalker, and you'd better damn well be afraid of NP because they are playing like a team that is a threat to go all the way on the final day. They now move in. 5 heroes dead, wiped the floor with Faceless in this game 2 and 3, and they have done it. It was pretty one-sided,